Hello everybody, my name is Kyle929. Welcome back to another video. Today, in this one, it's going to be another live locals future match, and in this one, it's going to be Superheavy Samurai taking on Orcust. Two decks that immediately doesn't come to mind when it comes to this format, but two very fun rogue options in this format. So Superheavy Samurai will be on the right side, Orcust will be on the left side. Orcust did win the die roll and elected to go first here, so without further ado, let's get into the match, shall we? So we'll start off with a Metzi pitching World Wand here, and that will go through. So we'll go ahead and search the King Sark from the deck here, and then we'll draw a card. I will also say I am the one piloting Superheavy Samurai, so it's going to be interesting for me to critique my own match here. So that's going to be interesting. So we draw the card, so back to a 5-card hand with King Sark in hand. So we'll activate the King Sark here. We'll go effect pitching Orcust Nightmare from the hand here to go ahead and dump Happy to the graveyard here. So very interesting, being able to pitch the World One and the Nightmare is very interesting. Basically being able to go full Orcust combo with just those two cards are going to be nice. And then you still have the Horus monsters as well. So we'll go ahead and special summon Happy, then special summon a Metzi here from the graveyard. So it's going to be interesting to maybe you overlay into the Galaxy, the rank 8, that's immediately a negate here. But I don't think he has it, so that's going to be fine here. But, you know, overlaying into a zombie vampire as well is always going to be nice just to see to mill 4 here. And he's thinking about going into a rank 8 here, but then decides against it. We'll go ahead and do Orcust Nightmare effect. Go ahead and pitch ourselves an Orcust monster. We'll target probably Happy or something like that. We'll pitch Harpour, then go Harpour effect here to summon out the Orcust Mech Knight. On summon will trigger effect, then chain the Ghost Mortar here, so that will get negated, so we will not get another dump from the deck here, but still has plays. Again, you know, having 3 bodies on the field is always going to be nice. Then we go World Wand effect to summon out the Orcust Nightmare from the Banish Zone. We'll go ahead and link both of them off into Galatea. Mourner will resolve here. We'll take 1800 because of Mourner's effect. We'll do Galatea's effect here, targeting the World Wand to try to shuffle back and then set an Orcust spell trap, which is going to be interesting. That gets Veilered, so that will not go through. So nothing for him here. Still 3 cards in hand, can pretty much do whatever he wants. Hasn't commit to a normal summon or anything either. So, you know, he can still do a lot, but you don't have, you know, reoccursion with the Galatea or anything like that, which is going to be interesting. There's no Simple Skeleton in the graveyard. You don't have Babel or Crescendo because, again, the Galatea getting Veilered is going to be nice. We'll go ahead and make a Dingirsu here. We'll go effect to attach a machine monster from our Banish Zone. He's just making sure he can attach any Banish or any machine. We'll go ahead and do the World Wand. Then link both a Metzi and the Dingirsu. Go ahead and link into IP Masquerena here. And then we'll go ahead and just set 2 cards and we'll pass to the Superheavy Samurai player who draws for turn. You see I get a little pissed there. You'll see in just 1 second why I get pissed there. You'll see in just 1 second. Trust me, you will see. So we'll go ahead and lead off with Wakashi into the scale here. We'll go IP effect, link both IP and Happy here, go into an SP Little Knight to banish the Wakashi here. Just prevent the Superheavy Samurai player from getting into anything, but has the second Wakashi, so we'll go Wakashi effect. We'll go ahead and special himself and then place another Superheavy Samurai scale onto the other scale. That will be, of course, the Benki here. We'll go ahead and then do Benki's effect on the field here. We'll chain SP, banishing the Wakashi and the SP Little Knight, but Benki will still resolve because it just met its activation condition. So we'll go ahead and search any Superheavy Samurai soul from the deck here, and taking just a quick look at hand before I decide what to search here. Take just a little bit, but again, this is at 1.5 speed. I think 2 is just a little too fast, but maybe in the future, let me know if you think it can be a little faster, but I have it at 1.5 speed for right now. We'll search out Soul Gaia Booster, chain Droll on Resolution, so again, Droll is now there. Normal summon the 3rd Wakashi, very interesting hand there. We'll go Soul Gaia Booster, target the Wakashi, then Soul Gaia Booster to special itself from the spell Trap Zone here. Again, we are under Droll, so unfortunate, so we can't really go into like something like Ancient Gear Ballista or anything like that. We'll go into a Merrymaker, then go into a Champion Sargass. Again, we're under Droll, so we can't search out the Therion. We'll just go Battle Phase, attack in with 28. We'll put the Orcust player down to 3,400 life points here, and then just overlay on top for a Zeus play here. Now, again, into 2 back row is very interesting. If that's like a double negation, then, you know, Zeus is pretty much worthless. Still 1 unknown card in hand, but we have committed to a normal summon already. And then, again, all 3 Wakashis are accounted for. We'll just do Zeus's effect here, detaching 2. That will be met with imperm here, which is unfortunate. And then here, I think I'm just thinking, well, if he has a double negation, it doesn't matter anyways. So we're not going to chain the other Zeus. End phase, SP, and Wakashi will come back. Orcust player will draw for turn here. Looks into the graveyard. Again, he has World-of-Wand and Nightmare in grave, so pretty much has everything he wants, especially with Harp Horror being in the Banish Zone as well here. We'll summon out the Ametsi, and then we'll go ahead and special summon Happy. That will force out the second Zeus, and then there's the Droplet that will force out the second, and then that's an immediate concession in. Now we'll go into game 2, and that's just me getting pissed because I was showing him I drew 3 Wakashi and a Banky. Kind of a brick hand in that situation. But now we're on to game 2 here, and the Superheavy Samurai player, which I keep saying Superheavy Samurai, but it is me, but I'm just going to keep saying that just because that's how I like to say things. We'll lead off with a Fenrir in main phase 1 here. Then go ahead and normal summon Wagon, go Wagon effect to change its battle position, then Wagon effect to change to attack, and search out a Super Heavy Samurai Soul monster from the deck here. Just taking a quick look at hand before we go ahead and commit to the search here. We'll go ahead and search out Super Heavy Samurai Soul Peacemaker. Kind of plays around Droll, but there is no Droll on resolution, so we'll go ahead and do Fenrir's effect to go ahead and search a Castria monster from our deck as well. Go ahead and just search out the second Fenrir from the deck here. And now immediately just has to think out some plays here. Just has, again, we have the Peacemaker, so we can go into like a Scales play and then get into a Link 2 into like a Ballista play if you really want to. Again, it's all dependent on the deck, but I will say I am playing the Ballista line, so I do have the box and the Tunneler in the deck. We'll go ahead and go Wakashi, activate Wakashi effect, special itself, and then place the other Scale, which will always, of course, be the Banky here. And then we'll go ahead and do Banky's effect here to search out a Super Heavy Samurai Soul from deck. We'll search out Soul Piercer from the deck here. Again, we already committed to our normal summon, so nothing very interesting. Unfortunately, we don't have the Bike in rotation, so we can't go into like a Baron play as well. But we do know we have the Peacemaker, and we do have Soul Piercer in the hand right now. Just thinking out some plays here. Again, probably should maybe do 2 times speed, but sometimes 2 times speed is just fast, especially when people are doing plays here. I will say I'm just thinking a lot here because I'm trying to play around Nibiru as much as possible. We'll go ahead and do Piercer, equip to Wagon, then link Fenrir in Wagon. Go ahead and make ourselves an IP Masquerena. Go Piercer effect to search out any Super Heavy Samurai from the deck here. We'll go ahead and search Bike, and then do Bike effect to search out any Super Heavy Samurai from deck as well. We'll go ahead and search ourselves the Stealthy from the deck here. And then we'll go ahead and do Gaia. We'll go Gaia effect to equip to Wakashi, and then effect to special itself. We'll go Synchro into an Excel Synchron. We'll go Excel Chainlink 1, Wakashi Chainlink 2. We'll special out Bike from the graveyard, then Synchro off into a Baron play. So now we have played around Nibiru, but he would have nibbed a long time ago. But we still have plays pretty much right now as well, because we do know we have Stealthy and Peacemaker, so that pretty much equals more combo as well. So we'll special out Stealthy, then Peacemaker equipped, then a Peacemaker tribute. Summon out Scales from the deck. We'll go Scales effect. Go ahead and target the Soul Piercer, or the Soul Piercer from the graveyard. Link into a Ballista. We'll go ahead and do Ballista Chainlink 1, Piercer Chainlink 2 here. Go ahead and search out from the deck here. Search out a Wakashi and a Box. We'll go Box effect to search out a Tunneler from the deck here. So pretty much having pretty much everything. The problem is we had to make IP early, so we can't go into like a Genius play right now to try to get into like a regular, setting up like a Regulus or something like that here. So we'll go ahead and just Pendulum 3 here. We'll summon out the Fenrir, the Box, and the Tunneler here. We'll go ahead and link 4 into an Appaloosa play. And then we'll go ahead and do effect of Tunneler in the graveyard, banishing itself. We'll target Scales, Peacemaker, Stealthy, and then we go for Ballista and Box here. Shuffle all 5 back into the deck, and we get to draw 2 cards from the deck here. And just shuffling up just a tad bit here. Again, we do know we have Wakashi in hand, so that leaves 1 unknown left in hand, but we're drawing 2, so we'll move 4 cards in hand with only Wakashi known, and we'll pass to the Orcust player, who draws for turn in draw phase. he will think immediately and go into a Super Poly in draw phase, pitching World 1. That will put Baron and Apollousa into the graveyard. We'll go ahead and summon out the Mud Dragon here. So, nice Apollousa and Baron just to get Super Poly'd off the field here. So all you have is an IP, Fenrir, Wakashi, and then 3 unknown. So hopefully drew into some hand traps off of that Tunneler here. Orcust player just thinks out his plays just a tad bit here. Goes ahead and does Metzi effect, pitching Symbol Skeleton that will get Ash Blossomed here. So in graveyard, we have ourselves World 1 and Symbol Skeleton that doesn't really do anything right now. We need another guy in rotation. We have King Sark though, so he hard drawn the King Sark. We'll think on activation here. Go ahead and do IP Masquerade's effect. That will go through. So we'll link off the Fenrir and the IP into an SP Little Knight here. We'll do SP Little Knight. Now I think I don't banish the King Shark straight away. I actually banish the Metzi here. Now the problem is I put him on, okay, last card in hand has to be something insane. If he wants the King Sark to resolve, I want him to discard that last card. Now I don't think I do that. I think I just banish the King Sark and force him to have something. But he does do King Sark effect because last card in hand was Fenrir, which is interesting. So that lead into draw phase Super Poly was probably bad. You probably go special Fenrir first, then Super Poly. But that's unfortunate. We'll dump the Happy here. That on dump will DD Crow the Happy because the World 1 and the Simple Skeleton by itself doesn't really do anything. World 1 needs a Banished Machine to special back, and then Simple Skeleton needs a Orcust to special back from grave. So we'll just go battle phase, hit into SP that will take 300 to 7,700. Goes down to 7,700 life points. Pass back to the Super Heavy Samurai player. We know he has Wakashi in hand, so pretty much all the follow-up guaranteed, and the Orcust player will concede. Now we are going to game 3. So a little bit of fuck up from the Orcust player. Probably should lead Fenrir there, and then Super Poly, not the opposite way around like he did, because then the Fenrir is just dead in hand. So game 3 here is interesting because the Orcust player forces the Super Heavy Samurai player to actually go first, which is very interesting to see because the Super Heavy Samurai player, or Super Heavy itself, can set up on a lot, so very interesting to see. But we saw in Game 2 that they can break a board pretty well with Orcust. But we'll lead off the Fenrir, then we'll go Bike Effect to go ahead and search out ourselves a Wakashi. That will get drolled on Resolution here, so Super Heavy Samurai now has to play through the Droll and Lockbird here, so let's see what they can do. But they do have the Bike in graveyard, which is always nice for them to have in graveyard early on, so they never have to search it. Hard drawing Bike in Super Heavy Samurai is always nice just to have it, just because you can always special it back from the graveyard, so you can lead into like a Baron play or something like that. We'll go Wakashi effect here, scale out the Benki from the deck here. Now again, we are under Droll, so we can't search for Benki here. We'll again have to think out plays. Again, Droll is a hard card to play through in Super Heavy Samurai here, but with 3 cards in hand, it's going to be a little interesting. If that's all like extenders, it's going to be nice. We'll go ahead and normal summon Scales here. We'll go Scales effect, summon out Bike, then do Bike effect, target itself to make itself a 4. We'll go into Excel effect, special summon out the Bike, then go into a Baron play here. Now I think I misplayed just a tad bit. You don't do Wakashi first, you go Scales first. Then after you make your Baron, you go into the Wakashi. It just plays around Nib a lot better there, because if he had Nib, I just got hard punished for doing Wakashi first and not doing the Scales there first. But he didn't have the Nib, so we have the Baron. We'll do Wakashi effect, pitching the Revolution Synchron that we had in hand, but was kind of just dead because we didn't really have a level 4 to synchro summon with it. We'll summon out a Wagon here. Again, it's just a worthless summon because we are under Droll. Go ahead and summon out the Super Heavy Samurai Link, or the Synchro 8. That's an MST. And then we'll go end phase. We'll go effect of it, pop the Benki, and then the Orcust player will take 500 damage here. Now, again, I also think this is probably incorrect here, just because now with Super Heavy Samurai, you kind of want that Benki to you want the Benki to have for follow-up. Sure, the Wakashi will always be nice, but you leave it where your opponent pops the Wakashi, you now no longer have the follow-up. So you probably just wait until your opponent's turn if you want to pop the Benki here. So just a little bit of a misplay there from me. But the Orcust player does draw for turn here with a 5-card hand, has to face a Baron, an MST, which is important because the King Sark does exist, and a Fenrir play with 1 unknown card in hand as well. Go ahead and do lead the King Sarcophagus that we did hard draw here. We'll go ahead, do its effect, discarding the counter trap for Orcust. I kind of forgot what it was called. I should remember what it's called, but we'll chain the Super Heavy Samurai, target the King's Arc. We'll chain Droplet here. Thinking on the discard, only has the 2 cards left in hand here. Crescendo, Orcust Crescendo, that's the tribe. I just finally remembered. Well, Droplet, send Droplet. Just sends 1 for cost. So I can't respond with spells, so Baron does have a chance to negate here. Since Droplet doesn't target, we'll just do Baron effect to negate, and that does resolve, so the King's Arc does get destroyed here, and we'll take another 500 damage. And then we'll do Crescendo effect to search out any Dark Machine from our banished or deck. Here, we'll go ahead and search out the Orcust Mech Knight here, and that does lock him to Dark Monsters for the rest of the turn. But again, all he has to play through is a Fenrir, so but 1 card left in hand. If he doesn't lead that Orcust Nightmare, it's going to be a little rough, because Fenrir can banish it, and then he only has the 1 dump that he has to play with. So the last card does have to be very important for him to play through this board effectively, and that is Triple Tactic Talents. That is a pretty good card, and he does will attempt to Snatch Steal. Will attempt to Snatch Steal Baron, but thinks about it for a little bit here. Fenrir is live, and he does have a Fenrir in the deck here. So, go Talent will eventually just take the Baron, because Baron just does have the pop there. So, we'll go ahead and do Baron effect to pop the Fenrir, and then we'll normal summon the Orcust Mech Knight, and now we pretty much have full combo, unless that 1 card in hand does matter. We'll dump the Orcust Nightmare. We'll do Nightmare effect here to go ahead and dump ourselves a Harp Horror, then do Harp Horror effect in graveyard. So we know we're not playing against an Ash Blossom, because Ash Blossom would have been dropped a long time ago. We know we're not playing against something like DD Crow, because again, that probably would have dropped on something like the Harp Horror or the Orcust Nightmare. So not DD Crow, not Harp Horror. We'll go ahead and just special out the Symbol Skeleton off of Harp Horror here. So maybe last card in hand, maybe like Mourner or something like that. We don't truly know. Again, it's just 1 unknown, but you do want to play around as much as possible. Link off into Galatea. Nothing on summon, so we'll do Galatea effect. Put back the Harp Horror from the deck, and we will put a Spell Trap onto the field. We'll go ahead, and we already have the Crescendo in the Banish Zone, so we can't go for Crescendo. But we do have the Babel here, so we'll go ahead and then just place, or we'll set the Babel here, but obviously we'll just activate the Babel as well here. Now, the Harp Horror is the face down card. That should be shuffled back, and then he does immediately realize he has to shuffle back the Orcust Harp Horror for Galatea's effect here. But we do now have Babel in rotation, so we have that Symbol Skeleton in graveyard that can reborn anything as well here. But going into the extra deck here, we do have the Galatea. We maybe want to go Dingirsu here as well. Again, we can't really kill him just because, I mean, we don't have enough extension plays as well. So we'll go into the Dingirsu. We'll go ahead thinking about Dingirsu effect either to attach, but he will send the Wakashi to the graveyard. And then we'll just go battle, Baron, beat over the Super Heavy Samurai, then Dingirsu for 26 directly, going down to 5,400 life points here. So maybe last card in hand is maybe some starter for Super Heavy Samurai. Again, Super Heavy Samurai was under draw, so you know that is important to know about. We'll go ahead and make ourselves an IP Masquerena. We'll pass on that because we do have the skeleton in graveyard, so this is technically like 3 interruptions just by itself here. So we'll pass to the Super Heavy Samurai player who does draw for turn here. Go into standby, we'll go into main phase, just looking in the graveyard for some plays to see what he wants to do. Does have to play through a Symbol Skeleton that will special back Dingirsu. We'll go ahead and special summon out the Stealthy, and then we'll go Gaia Booster, target the Stealthy, then Stealthy effect to special summon itself out onto the field here. Again, very rough situation, not the 2 right Super Heavies you want to play. They're both not level 4, so you can't go into like a Regulus play or go into like a rank 4 player or something like that. So it's kind of a little bit unfortunate. You can maybe link 2 into a Ballista here, but Ballista doesn't really do anything because sure, you get the box and Tunneler, but then what does that truly do? Again, facing the IP and a Symbol Skeleton to bring back Dingirsu is always just going to be rough, just because, you mean, that's technically like 3 interruptions right there, because IP can make an SP, which SP by itself is 2 interruptions as well. But I think the Super Heavy Samurai player will attempt to pass turn here. Orcust player is reading what Stealthy does before he draws for turn. We'll draw for turn here, not committing to Symbol Skeleton in the end phase or anything like that. So we'll just draw for turn here, and then we'll go ahead and just attempt to go Battle Phase. Battle Phase IP attack into Stealthy here. We'll chain the Stealthy, go ahead and target just a spell trap. Doesn't really matter here because there's really not a good spell trap for you to target. We'll just target the talents that's in there, and then we'll go IP effect attack into Gaia because attacks are low. Then we'll go Symbol Skeleton to summon out Dingirsu here. We'll go Dingirsu effect to send the talents. Now the talents should be banished, but again, doesn't really matter in this situation. Super Heavy Samurai player is coming back from a lot. We'll go into main phase 2. Didn't attack with Dingirsu, by the way. So we'll go into main phase 2, go into Galatea, go Galatea effect, go ahead and shuffle back the Symbol Skeleton to set a orchestrated return from the deck here. And then go orchestrated return, sending the Galatea to draw 2 cards here. And draw 2 cards, 3 cards in hand. All 3 of them are unknown. We'll go ahead and special summon out the Fenrir, which is nice. We'll go Fenrir effect, search out another Fenrir from the deck here. And then last card is a Metzi pitching Harpor, and then the Super Heavy Samurai player has seen enough. So that was a good match. Orcust player taking it in a game 3 there. Again, Super Heavy Samurai had to play through Droll and then Super Poly, or not Super Poly, or Talents and Droplet, which was unfortunate, but the Orcust player does succeed in making Super Heavy Samurai player going first. So I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, leave a like and subscribe for more content on the channel, and I hope to see you guys in the next one. Goodbye.